Hi, first grade. My name is Mrs. Stolick. I'm one of your school counselors. I know Miss Grant normally does your second step lessons, but today I'm here to do second step with you, and I'm so excited. This week's lesson is lesson 3 on following directions with second step. Today we're going to continue our second step lesson, so let's review our virtual classroom rules.
Would you like something to eat?
No, thank you. I'm doing my schoolwork.
Awesome. So these are things that we are using in the virtual classroom. So today we're going to do a different kind of a brain builder. And so I want you to watch this video and see if you can try and follow along. This brain builder is a little bit tricky.
Begin by having some fun and building our brains with our game My Turn, Your Turn. So this time we're going to use a mixed up rule. But rule 1 is the same. You're going to wait until I say your turn before you do the movements, okay? But now we're gonna add a mixed up rule. When I say touch your elbows, you're actually gonna touch your ears, okay? So this is a really challenging one for your brain, so you really need to listen for this, okay? So when I say touch your elbows, you're going to touch your ears. But I'm also gonna throw in some just regular ones where you're gonna just touch the body parts when I tell you to, okay? All right, my turn. Touch your shoulders, touch your knees. And your turn. Good. Okay. My turn, touch your elbows, touch your head. Your turn. Good. That one was a little harder. I threw in that mixed up rule. Some of you got it. Let's try it again though, okay? Okay. My turn, touch your head, touch your elbows. And your turn. Good. Okay, so some of you are remembering to use that mixed up rule, but some of you were touching your elbows because I was kind of trying to trick you by touching mine when really I'm supposed to touch my ears. Okay, so we're going to throw in another mixed up rule, so this is going to be a little tougher. So if you don't get it right, it's okay, just try your best, okay? All right, so again, one of the mixed up rules was when I say touch your elbows, you're really going to touch your ears, actually. Oh, yeah. And then when I say touch your hips, you're going to actually touch your knees, okay? All right, so let's try it. Yeah, so my turn, touch your head, touch your elbows. Now your turn. Good, okay. So my turn, touch your shoulders, touch your hips. Now your turn. Good. Really had to focus on that one. Okay, let's do another one. My turn, touch your hips, touch your head. Now your turn. Good. So what skills did you have to use to become successful at this game? Jaden.
I had to remember the rules that you told us.
Good. So did you have to kind of say those rules in your head?
Yes.
Good. So you use self-talk.
Yes.
Good.
So that was a fun and tricky one. Did you try and play along with her? Because that one was a good one. Awesome. So that was our brain builder. So it was kind of a tricky one. It was a mixed up brain builder today. So let's review what we learned last week. Last time you practiced a way to focus your attention by using your attentoscopes, right? Everyone show me your attentoscope. It's when you put your hands on your eyes. What are some words you say to remind yourself to turn your attentoscope on? We can say focus or pay attention. Watch carefully. Time to listen. Those are all good things. Clap your hands twice if you had the same idea. Good job. When you focus your attention, you use your eyes, ears, and brain. The more you practice, the better you get at focusing your attention. So now we're going to listen to our learner song and do the movements that you learned. Make your attentoscopes when you hear focus, attention, and try to sing along with the words.
Focus, focus, listen, listen, use your self-talk, be assertive. Focus, focus, listen, listen, use your self-talk, be assertive. Focus, focus, listen, listen, use your self-talk, be assertive. This is the way we all can learn. This is the way we all can learn. First you focus, get your attention, use eyes and ears and brain. Now you listen, make sure you listen, use eyes and ears and brain. Use your self-talk, say I can do this, and focus, focus now. Be assertive, if you don't get it, just ask for help out loud. This is the way we all can learn. This is the way we all can learn. First you focus, get your attention, use eyes and ears and brain. Now you listen, make sure you listen, use eyes and ears and brain. Use your self-talk, say I can do this, and focus, focus now. Be assertive, if you don't get it, just ask for help out loud.
Awesome. So what other skills for learning did you hear? Did you hear listen, use your self-talk, be assertive? Those are all ways to be a learner. Today you'll learn about listening and focusing your attention more. Now we're ready for the story and discussion. Okay, so I want everyone to look at the photo. This is Brianna. She heard the teacher say they're going to work on the community helpers booklet they started yesterday. Brianna quickly starts looking in her desk to find all the papers, crayons, and other materials she was using. When Brianna looks up, she notices the other students are doing something different. Brianna did not focus her attention to stop and listen to everything the teacher was saying. Now she doesn't know what she's supposed to do. Put your thumbs up if sometimes you forget to focus your attention and stop to listen for the directions. Sometimes we just get so excited about what the teacher's saying and we think we already know what is expected of us that we don't listen. But we need to make sure that we stop and focus our attention before we start to get our supplies out. Let's think about what Brianna can do. So think about a couple things that you think Brianna can do. So now she doesn't know what to do. She's looking to me like she's a little bit frustrated. Maybe she's a little sad and disappointed because she feels lost. She doesn't know what she's supposed to be doing. Sometimes when I was a teacher, I said, first you need to ask a friend or two. Like maybe your teacher has a rule for how many friends you're supposed to ask before you go back and ask the teacher. So you could ask a friend, what are you supposed to be doing? If it's time to talk to your friend, that's a good thing to do. You could always ask the teacher. You could, And so those are two good choices. You're either going to ask a friend or ask the teacher. So Brianna decides to ask the teacher to tell her again. She remembers to use her attendoscope. She switches it on by saying focus to herself. This time she really listens to all the directions. She looks at the teacher and keeps thinking about the teacher's words. Brianna's teacher asks her to repeat the directions. This helps Brianna remember just what to do. Listening is more than just hearing sounds. It is thinking about the words and then remembering them. Brianna uses many body parts for listening and remembering the directions. She needs to use her eyes, her watching eyes. Her ears are listening. Her voice is quiet. You can't listen when you can't talk while you're listening. Your brain is thinking about what that person is saying, and your body is calm. So she uses her eyes, ears, and brain to think. So I want you to practice using your attendoscope, your eyes, listening ears, and using your brain to think about what it is that your teacher is saying or your friend's saying or what I'm saying as we're trying to talk to you. Brianna keeps repeating the directions quietly to herself as she returns to her desk to start her work. This is called self-talk. Put your thumbs up if you ever quietly repeat the words to yourself or say them over and over. So maybe her teacher said, first we're going to get out our crayons, but today we're going to need glue and scissors, and yesterday we didn't. And so maybe now she's going to know, okay, crayons, glue, scissors, crayons, glue, scissors. Sometimes we need to remind ourselves what we're doing to help us to stay focused so that we know what the directions are and what's expected of us. So I want you to play a game called My Turn, Your Turn using movement. So the rule is you wait for me to say your turn before you do anything. Rule 2 is new. First, repeat what I told you to do and then do it. So I'm going to say, my turn. Touch your head, touch your knees, and then I'll say your turn, and you're going to say touch your head, touch your knees, and then you touch your head and touch your knees. So you have to say it first and then you do it. So my turn. Touch your nose, touch your chin. And then you say touch your nose, touch your chin. That. Okay, I'll give you another one. My turn. Touch your ears, touch your shoulders. Your turn. Touch your ears, touch your shoulders. Ears, shoulders. My turn. Touch your chin, touch your forehead. Your turn. Chin, forehead. Very good. So you repeat the directions and then you do it. So sometimes I do this with my little girl. I say, I need you to go get your shoes, go get your backpack, and wait by the door. And she goes, shoes, backpack, door. And then she goes to do it. So you can do this at home or at school. Today you learned that focusing your attention and listening to all the directions helps you to know what to do in class. You practice while playing My Turn, Your Turn, or playing along with the video. You practice repeating directions in the game we just played together. So why does it help to repeat the directions to yourself? It helps when you repeat the directions because it helps you to remember exactly what you're supposed to do. When you repeat directions quietly to yourself, it really helps you learn and know what to do. And that's how you can check for understanding. So if there's a list of things that you need to do, it's always good to repeat them back to yourself so that you make sure that you heard it and you know exactly what it is. And sometimes when you're talking to your teacher, you can repeat the instructions to show her that you know what you're supposed to be doing. So if she says, okay, I want you to go get your notebook and get your crayons and sit quietly at your desk and don't open the booklet until everyone's ready. You're going to say, notebook, crayons, and sit quietly. Notebook, crayons, sit quietly until she says. Because sometimes maybe you get your notebook and your crayons, but you're already starting to do the work. But we missed a very important step of just waiting until everyone is ready. So repeating the directions is very helpful so that we know all of the directions. So the worst day of my life ever is a story about listening and following instructions or not. So I want you to listen along with this fun story.
My name is RJ, and today I had the worst day of my life ever. When I woke up, there was gum stuck in my hair. RJ, I told you not to go to bed with gum in your mouth. I was late getting to school because I missed the bus. RJ, I told you the bus always comes at 8:15. I didn't get to go to morning recess because I got caught running in the halls. I was just trying to get to class on time. RJ, I've told you before, we don't run in the halls. I got sent to the principal's office for wearing my favorite hat to school. I was trying to cover up the gum in my hair. RJ, I've told you before, we don't wear hats in school. I got a 0 on my math paper because I did all the odds instead of the evens. RJ, I told you yesterday, do the evens, not the odds. My friends got mad at me when I kicked a goal for the other team. RJ, we told you, kick this way. When I finally got back home from school, I decided to make pancakes, but I accidentally, not on purpose, made a big mess in the kitchen. RJ, the recipe says use 1 to 2 eggs, not 12 eggs. Oops. My mom got angry with me and I started to cry. Then I told her about the worst day of my life ever. RJ, you just need to work on doing 2 things, listening more carefully and following instructions. If you will do that, your life will be so much easier. That's funny. My teacher said the exact same thing to me today at school. The truth is, I hear what people say most of the time, but instructions are boring and listening is hard. I think it's more fun when I am in charge. Hearing people talk and listening carefully to what they have to say are 2 different things, and everyone in this world has to learn how to follow instructions, even you. To really listen to someone, this is what you need to do. Look right at the person who is talking to you. Please do not speak until she is through. Show that you've heard what she's trying to say by nodding your head and saying, okay. And when you need to follow instructions, this is what you should do. Look right at the person who is talking to you. Say okay to the person as soon as he's through. Do what you've been asked and do it right now. When you finish, check back with him. Now you know how. RJ, if you had listened more carefully, you would have remembered me telling you that the bus comes at 8:15. If you had listened more carefully, you would have been on time for school and you wouldn't have had to miss recess for running in the hall. RJ, if you'd been better about following instructions, you would have thrown your gum away before you went to bed. Then you wouldn't have gum in your hair right now. And you wouldn't have had to go to the principal's office for wearing a hat in school to hide the gum in your hair. If you'd been better about following instructions, you would have gotten a much better grade on your math paper. Your friends wouldn't be mad at you, and you wouldn't have made such a big mess in the kitchen and used up all of our eggs. The way I see it, if you'd listened more carefully and followed instructions, you could have had a great day. Later that night when I went to bed, I thought a lot about what my mom had said. The last thing I wanted was another bad day. I guess I should listen to what others say. If I follow instructions and do what I'm told, I'll stay out of trouble until I grow old. I took the gum out of my mouth and threw it away, and then I went to sleep. When I woke up the next morning, my hair was gum-free, so I didn't need to wear a hat to school. I made it to the bus by 8:15. I didn't have to run in the hallway to get to class on time. My teacher was proud of me for following instructions, and I got a good grade on my math assignment because I did all the right problems. My friends cheered me on when I kicked a goal for our team. And when I got home from school, I even made pancakes the right way. Today was the best day of my life ever. I guess my mom was right. Hearing and listening are just not the same. When I choose not to listen, I guess I'm to blame. Following instructions might not be too fun, but when I do it correctly, I can get a lot done. P.S. Don't forget to take out the gum of your mouth and throw it away before you go to sleep.
Awesome. So there are ways you can practice these skills at home, but I want you to remember that you can use your good listening skills at home or at school. So I want you to try and practice doing all of these things at home with your family. Here are some slides on what you can do to practice at home for your parents. Choose an activity and do it at home. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks so much for letting me do Second Step with you, first grade. Have a great week. Bye-bye.